Okay, hi kids. Welcome back to painting with me while you're stuck in the house. Today we're going to paint that beautiful unicorn. These are the colors that you're going to need. You're going to have to get some white and some black, a little bit of blue, some yellow, and some red to make the pink with. You could get your big person to have a blow dryer so you can dry a little bit in between. And if you need to stop and push the pause and catch up with me, then you guys can do that anytime and then just pick up again wherever we stop off. So you're going to need some brushes too. I suggest some sort of a big brush, one of these pointy brushes, and then it doesn't have to have an angle on, but just a little bit smaller than the other one. You need paper towel, you're going to need some water. If you're using paint from the dollar store that comes like this, you don't need to get your canvas wet. You don't really even have to water your paints down at all. But we're going to get started. And if you're using thick paint like me, meaning that it doesn't dribble down the paint, doesn't dribble down the plate, then you don't need to get your canvas wet. But for me, I need to get my canvas just a little bit wet so that my paint slides around nice like yours is going to. So I started off with my round brush, and you might have to get your big person to help you with this bit a little bit, just to get the shapes of this face, because we're going to get the shape of the face, and then we're going to do all of those little things, and then we'll fill the face in afterwards. But the background is white, so we're not going to know when to stop with the colors here. And I don't want to paint underneath it because it's going to take a long time to cover up those colors. So I'm starting with my black. Maybe we'll make it a little bit gray just so that it's lighter. It's lighter than black, but it's darker than your canvas. So I can still see the gray on my plate, but not really brightly, which means I'm going to be able to see it here. Now, when you're going to start with your head, you're going to have to remember to leave room for your ears and leave room so that you have the horn, right? So we're going to put it, and I'm using a smaller canvas because I know I saw a lot of you guys were using smaller canvases. So I'm not going to start way up here. I'm going to come down a little bit. And basically I'm drawing kind of like a peanut. So it's got a big round part like this. Almost like, let's do it this way. Let's do a big circle. But see how I have some room here for the mane, for all this? It's going right here, and I still have room for ears, and I still have room for a horn. Okay, and then I'm going to come down maybe to about here. Let's draw a little smile there. And then I just connected it. See how I did that? It's all one line, and I just connected it. And that's going to be the little smile. And then underneath here, there's your round part of the circle. Here's your round part of the circle. So it comes in a little bit and comes down, and it swoops up. Now we can adjust that a little bit, but I think it looks pretty good. Maybe it's going to be a little bit bigger, but I think that looks pretty good. So we're not going to worry about that too much anymore. What you can do is take a damp brush, and then you can just, not wet because you don't want the water to dribble down. And with a damp brush, you can erase all those lines inside. Wipe it off on the paper towel, put your brush in the water, take the water off here. And this is how you make it damp. Take the water off on your container, dab it on your paper towel. Now it's damp. It's not going to drip. And then you can just erase. You can erase those lines inside a little bit. It doesn't have to be perfectly erased because we're going to need that edge, this outside bit. There. If you want, you can just tap that dry, but we're not going to worry about any of that anymore. Now, take the medium-sized brush that you have, not the big one anymore, and we are going to do all these colored stripes. So I'm going to start with one color. For me, it's going to be yellow. So I'm going to take some yellow. It's way too much yellow that I put on here, by the way, you guys. You just need a little bit of yellow. and take a whole bunch of white and mix it in till you have some nice light yellow. Let me see what it's like without this light on. You guys can see my color better. You see my colors better? So we got a nice light yellow here. You got quite a nice pile of it so that you can make some swirlies or straight. It doesn't matter how you do it. Just go right to the side of your unicorn and just wiggle a line and then just make it fatter with that color. So you got one wiggly line of yellow. It can be as wide as you want. And then go down a little farther and do another wiggle in yellow. But leave a space in here because you're going to fit 2 more colors inside there. You're going to put pink and blue in there. Ooh, hang on. Before we go any farther down past the nose, we need to go back in with that gray because I have to make a stopping point. I have to make a stopping point here for the colors. Ooh, good thing I stopped. Okay, back to the gray. So right underneath her, your half circle, before you hit that dip right there, you're going to start here and you're going to come down and you're going to swoop out and give your unicorn kind of a shoulder. Can you guys see that line? So right in the middle, just before that swoop, we're going to do a line that comes down and goes back out almost to where her nose is and then down. And you don't have to paint yours with pink hair. You could, if you've got purple and you want purple hair or you want to have blue hair, that's all up to you. This is your unicorn. You paint it whatever color you want. So I'm going to carry on with my stripes. So I'm going to go down, swoop it. You want that to be a little bit brighter yellow? Add a little bit more yellow to it. That's up to you too. These are your colors. Super fun. And one goes here. Ooh, that one's really swoopy. And then I'm going to need to go all the way up to here before her hair is. So I'm going to go a little bit more yellow there. And one last yellow. I'm going to go right up here, right to the top of her head. Because I'm unsure where to stop, where her ears are going to be. But we can cover that all up with pink after. All right, now wash that brush off when you're done. And then you clean it off on your paper towel. When you don't see any more yellow, I still see yellow, so I gotta give it another swirl. Go back, and no yellow comes out, then you know you did a good job cleaning it off. We're gonna make our next color, which is pink. So I'm gonna take some white and move it over and take a little bit of red because I just want a light pink. I don't want a dark, dark pink because that's gonna be dark pink. So really make a light pink, a little bit more white for me. And I got a nice light pink color. And then just right above your yellow, on the top of all of the yellows, we're gonna go pink. So just follow that line right up to your nose and make that one as thick as you want. But remember, you have to stick one more color in there. So I'm not gonna quite be able to fit blue underneath the chin. But that's okay. This is so fun. It just feels like a birthday party on the canvas to me. And it doesn't matter if you're a boy or a girl, you can paint this unicorn. It's just fun to create stuff. Make this a really nice, big, thick pink swirl here. Okay, that's it. Yep. Now we're going to wash this off again because we're going to make some light blue color. But before we make the light blue, I want this to dry a little bit. So go into your white, and you can get your big person to use the blow dryer too. We're going to fill this whole thing in with some white. Cover that all up. I know the canvas is already white, but the reason why we're doing this white now is because after a couple of years, when it's hanging on the wall for a long time, this material starts to turn yellow. And we don't want it to be yellow. We want it to stay nice. So I didn't take away my edge with the white because I wanted the edge there. And then we're going to go down his chin, but I'm leaving his little line there from the bottom of that circle. Don't worry about all of this. Just sort of straight down from the back of his head. Let me draw you a line. So if you do that much. Don't do any pink over here. Just fill in all that bit with white. I even have a hole in my canvas right there, but it's okay. It's still going to be pretty. Here we go. Now he's all white. And we can let that dry while we're making blue paint. Put a little bit on there. So again, we're going to take a tiny little bit of blue. I have way too much paint. See how much blue that I'm going to use from my blue? Just that. That's all the blue that you need on your canvas. And I took so much. That's even too much. Take some white. Make some light blue. You might need more blue if you decide you want blue hair for your unicorn, but I'm not having blue hair. So all these extra spaces that are left, they're all going to be blue. And if you want to put different colors in here instead of what I'm using, and you have different colors, if your big person bought you other colors and you want to use those, you just use them. So we don't need anything from this side over this way, just on that side. So let's go right there, right to the head. Color this all in. Okay, I need to make some more because I ran out. Okay, and back I go. I hope you guys had a chance to paint my purple fish and my gnome and my Easter bunny. I don't know what I'm going to paint next. Somebody suggested a teddy bear, and somebody suggested fireflies in a jar. So maybe when your big person helps you finish this, if you want to post a picture on my page and tell me what you want to paint next time. A firefly in a jar or teddy bears. I think there might even be panda bears. I'm not sure. Haven't painted it yet. So there's all your pretty colors. Like that? Okay, so do I. So this is still wet. What I'm going to do next is We're going to work with the pink, this dark pink. We're going to make the mane. We're still letting that dry. I'm hoping that it will dry while we're talking. So we're having a hard time with the color. Let me see. Let me see if the color shows up a little better with the light on it. It's hard for me to tell what colors you guys are seeing. I hope that's nice and bright. Anyway, so we're going to take the red. And I'm still going to use up this pink over here. I'm just going to move some red into that and a little bit more white because I need a big pile. But I want this to be a darker pink, so I'm adding more red to the mix. Till this pink is definitely darker. See how this pink is darker than that pink? So I want this pink to be darker over on this side too. All right, so I got a nice mix. I'm not going to wash this off because I'm going to use this brush in a minute. But with my nice round brush, this one, and it's okay, it's going to turn a little bit pink in there, but that's okay. So I'm going to take this pink and I'm going to go right here. Oh, maybe we should put the eye on first. Let's put the eyes on first. Then you'll know where to put the mane. So forget the pink. Let's go with the black. I'm going to do his nose first. So his nose looks like a 6. Doesn't it look like a 6? Maybe it's backwards for you guys, but for me, it looks like a 6 when I'm painting it. So you're going to draw a 6 and color in the circle of the 6. And that's his nose. And then give him a little smile there. The eye, I'm just going to leave a little space because you see his hair is coming down and that covers a little bit. So straight up from the nose, not way up here, but sort of almost right in the middle. I'm going to make like a little snake. Wiggle it a little bit like that. And then we have to give it some eyelashes. So they're just little lines that go like this. Okay, so there's his eye. I made a little bit of a mistake there. So I'm going to wash all the paint off that brush. Go on my napkin. No paint came out. So I can just wipe it a little bit. Wipe off my brush. Wipe it off. And it's almost gone. So I'll leave that dry a little bit and then I can put some white on. So now that my brush is clean, I'm going to go into this pink. And I want to give him, start with this little curl here. So I'm going to start and I'm going to go in a little bit, come down past, and it's going to be a little curl right there. So make that a little wider, and then I'm just going to go on that side. So it kind of looks like a leaf, right? That's your first curl. And then we're going to color that in. You can do more later, but just color in a little bit. So there's your first curl. And your second curl is going to be right beside it. So it's going to get a little jumbled up, but we want it to come up a little bit and then down a little farther and curl again. And then we're going to fill that in. Right over the nose. And then you can make it a little bit fatter. You can make them a little bit fatter. And then fill that in. Now I'm going to make a line so you guys can see where the two are. I'll do that with my other brush. And I'm going to do it with a little bit of black because you're going to do that later anyway. So with this black, I'm going to show you this curl here. So you can see where they are. All right. So that's 1. And there's 2. You don't do the black yet though, okay? Wait till later. I just want you guys to see where that is. And then the third curl, it's going to curl out the other way. So it goes a little bit higher, and it comes here, and it curls out that way. You can make it bigger so it's way down there. That's up to you. You can change it all you want. And just color that in. Isn't she adorable? Okay. All right, now taking that big brush, like I said, we're going to take this big brush now and we're going to make all that other hair. Might have to make some more. think I will. Bring some more white over, bring some more red. I want to have a really good big pile of this. She's got lots of hair, like me. So I'm going to go right from here, and I'm going to go around her neck and curl. And then here I'm going to give her another curl. And then here I'm going to give another curl. All right? Up top here, right where her bangs are, I'm going to go up and cover the whole canvas. You see how it wasn't really dry, so it brought some of that blue in? That's why it's good to have your big person use a blow dryer on those colors. So just paint this all pink now, okay? You're going to need some more paint. Doesn't matter if you lose the curls here. We know where we're going to put them back in a minute. You just need to get all pink in here. Ooh, I made it. Wash my little brush off here, my pointy one. This pointy brush. And I'm going to take my white and I'm going to make some white lines that go in the same direction as I want her curls to go. So do you see here how her hair came up and around and it came down and made that curl and then it made that curl and then it made that curl and it followed all those? So we're going to start making some white lines that make the curls. So basically just following this, start right here, come around and make that curl. Doesn't have to be perfect. And then make this curl. Doesn't really stick too great because our paint is wet. So if your person has a blow dryer and then she wants to dry for you or he wants to dry for you, I don't know who's painting with you, mommy or daddy or your grandma or your uncle or your big sister. There, can you see all the white lines? Let me bring this nice and close for you. So I just made my lines going around, and then this curl goes around here. You can do another one. This curl around here. You can do another one in here, and then around in there. It's okay that it blends in a little bit. We're going to do a little bit with the bangs too. Here. Needs to have some white in there. So just the same as we drew them. Some lines. Maybe one line goes around like that. There. So I know that you guys may or may not have a person helping you with this, but right now before I do my unicorn tusk and my ears, I need that to be dry. So it's going to get loud for a second. I have to use my blow dryer. Okay, big person with the blow dryer, or if you guys are doing the blow dryer yourself, just around this area here where we have to do the ears and this. So this is where you're blow drying for now. We have to put black in, but I'm going to do that later. So clean your brush off. Color your middle-sized brush, this one. Okay, and we are going to go back into some whites, straight white, and we're going to do the ears. So right here in this little V shape here where the hair, the bangs meet the puffy hair, is where we're going to do a triangle. This is the back ear, so it's just a triangle. And you're going to paint that all in white. And if you didn't dry your background, you are going to have blue ears. We're going to put some blue in the ear, but we want the ear to be white, really. Okay? So go over that little piece of her bangs. And then over here in this part, we're going to make it, it's going to kind of look like a leaf. I'm going to bring it nice and close so you guys can see. So right in that little triangle, that's where her ear went. And this one's going to go right in here. And it's going to start up. It's going to be a big ear. And it's going to be just like that. Mine's not dry, so I drug some pink down. Wash my brush off so I don't have any more pink. And then up here It's just going to come in a little bit and out like a leaf. So you can see from the pink what that is. It's not dry. If yours is dry, that'll be great because then it's not going to be all pink. Mine's probably going to be pink because I'm not dry. I'm impatient. And then we're going to color that all in with white. And it doesn't matter how many times I go over this until it's dry, that ear is going to stay pink. We don't want pink, so I have to blow dry it some more. Okay. Okay, I hope that's good. Take out the pink on my brush. Pick up some more white. There, that's better. Hide all that pink that I brought down onto her face. There. And that's not very dark, so you can still see through it, so I'd give it another little bit of white. Now, for her tusk, her horn, it might go off my page because I'm pretty close on my page, but I'm going to start right here with just white. Start right here, and I'm going to go on that so it looks like it's going up on an angle. You're just going to make like a long triangle thing. That's what you're going to do to start with. And then you're going to paint it so that it's all colored in and all you see is white. Because I can still see some of my background through there. Don't want that, so I have to give that a couple of coats. While we're waiting for that to dry, go back to your light blue. And we're going to do the inside of the ears. So we're going to do almost like the same shape as the ear is now, but just with light blue. Then you don't need to go right down past here where it's in her face, just above it. And the other side has some as well, over here. Just a little bit there. And now we're going to go back to our pointy brush. This part gets just a little bit scary. And this is where we are going to go around all the outlines. We're going to outline her face and her neck and her shoulder and her ears. And we're going to give her some little swirls in her hair. So I'm just going to start right here. And I'm going to outline all that stuff that we started with in gray. But doing it, I do it really fast. You guys don't have to go this fast. So just go as slow as you need to go. And it's just going to make her stand out a little bit more. It might take you some time to get this right. Or maybe you want your big person to do it for you. That's up to you. There, see how much darker? Now she really stands out. So I have to go around her ears too, and that's going to be scary for some people. But I think you can do it if you go slow enough. And come down just a little bit into her face. So you don't stop on top of her hair. You go down just a little bit so it looks like her ears come off the side of her face right here. There, see how it's just a little bit into her face? And now we're going to be able to see her back ear so much better. Oops, didn't get any paint. And there, now I can see her ear. But mine's wet, so it's going gray. There. Do you see how right here, this came down just a little bit into her face? Right? So we have to do this one other thing. So it's still wet, so it's going to be gray, which is good. You don't want it black. Go just around this side a little bit on that black part. Okay? Yay! Hope you guys are doing okay. So I've got my my black paint, and I'm going to throw some black swirls. If you don't want to have these black swirls in yours, you don't have to go there. You can just stop right now, and you can say your painting is done. But I'm going to give just a few little swirls in with these other swirls. Just a couple, just so you can see where her hair, which way her hair is flowing, you know. Make sure you don't go over top of your tusk when you do this part. Is that enough? Maybe she's got one right here. There. I think that's enough color in there. So I want to go back to her tusk just to make it look like it's got some chunks in it. So I did mine with yellow. If you have gold paint, oh, gold paint will look really nice too. Boy, I'm clumsy today. Clumsy, clumsy, clumsy. Oops. Hang on, I've got to fix this. I've got water everywhere. See, even big people make mistakes. It's okay. We're allowed to. You're allowed to make mistakes. You just have to clean that up because that's too much water. Too much water. We don't want to have any more accidents. Oh boy. That's why you should always keep your glass a little higher up so you don't actually accidentally knock it over. I have accidents all the time. Okay, so like I said, we're going to use a little bit of, you should see what I'm doing here, you guys. I'm getting pink paint all over my table. So we're taking a little bit of light yellow. And I'm going to make some sections. Let me show you on this one. So do you see how I made like little sections here? I'll show you how I did that. Interesting. So inside your thing, I did these little sideways stripes up onto the tusk. Then I just took some more white paint, not pink paint, white paint. Might be pink. I took some white paint and I just made each section just a little fatter. I stopped with each section and kind of made it round. Then I can see this little section, so I made it a little bit round inside each section. I'm going to do this with a dark color. I want you guys to stick to white and yellow, but I'm going to do it with a little bit of black here in my sections. So I made these lines. Little stripes. Okay, see the little stripes that I made all the way up? You don't need to do that with black. You need to do it with yellow and white. So in between those little sections, I just made my white part. I've got a lot of paint on there. Just a little bit rounder. Go to the next one. Make that one just a little bit wider and rounder in each section. And then it looks like she's got a lumpy tusk. I think that middle part's too dark, too big. Try covering that up with some white. There you go. So that's your unicorn's tusk. And I don't think there's anything left to do in this painting. Nope, it looks exactly done. So you get to put your name on it. I'll put my name right there again. Tammy. You can just put your initials, your first letter of your first name, and letter of your last name. And then you're done. Okay, so thanks for coming out. This is Wednesday, so I'll be posting another one for you guys probably maybe on Friday morning. How's that? I'll put one out for you guys Friday. So then you'll have 2 in this week. All right, well, see you soon. Happy painting, little painters.